Pressure has a way of revealing people. That's right. Some of us, we shrink under pressure. Some of us become overwhelmed by pressure. Others of us learn how to grow through it. Shrink, overwhelm, grow through it. You see, the real question is not will pressure come, because it is going to come. But the real question is, how are you going to become while navigating through it? We're doing a series through this month called Thriving Under Pressure. And our first step is just that, thriving, because thriving under pressure is about more than surviving through difficult seasons. It's about growing and learning and adapting and remaining grounded, even when life feels demanding and uncertain. Come on, let's get this conversation started. Welcome to Transformation Station Leadership Podcast, where growth meets real life momentum. I'm your host, Adrienne Benton, and this month we are focusing on thriving under pressure. And we're doing that because I've been hearing more and more. I've been hearing so many conversations from real-time leaders today who are functioning, who are producing, who are accomplishing, and who are showing up for everyone else, while internally we're carrying emotional exhaustion and pressure and overload. But I want you to hear me today. Thriving is possible. Thriving under pressure means learning how to lead intentionally. Come on now. Remain emotionally grounded, increase resilience, and grow through difficult seasons instead of becoming consumed by them. And today, we're beginning with step one, which is thriving. That's right. Before we dive in, I want to remind you of a few things. Okay, so number one, I want to remind you that on June 7th, we have our next monthly mobilizing prayer circle. This is a time where we can come together to pray, to share prayer requests and testimonies, have a short devotional, and to be inspired and encouraged by one another and by God. So join us on Sunday, June 7th. It's via Zoom, which means you'll need to go to mobilizingwithimpact.com. You can go there to the event tab and you'll get the Zoom link right there. Remember, the community that prays together sees miracles happen together. I also want to remind you that on June 21st, we have our next leadership webinar. Our leadership webinar in the month of June is with Dr. Melanie Gray. Dr. Melanie Gray, the confident coach. And we're going to talk about how to stop the overwork cycle. I know you need this conversation. You know you need this conversation. So I'm inviting you to join us. Go to mobilizingwithimpact.com. You'll get the registration link. As a matter of fact, the registration link will also be under this episode here. And I want you to not only come by yourself, but bring one or two, matter of fact, bring two other leaders with you. So get them to register and come and join us on June 21st. Finally, I want to remind you that for everybody who has ever made a mistake, if you've ever had something that you've had to get over, we have the A Greater Force Than Failure Intentional Time with God journal. You can get the journal on Amazon. This journal is for you. It will take you through a 4-step process on how to overcome failure. So be sure to get your copy today. Now, we're having this conversation, right? And we're having this conversation again because we are skilled. We are skilled as leaders. You know what we're skilled at? We are skilled at how to survive. That's right. High functioning leaders know how to keep moving, how to keep functioning, how to keep producing, how to keep showing up. But surviving and thriving are not the same thing. Did you hear me? Surviving and thriving are not the same thing. Think about this. Surviving says, I'm just trying to make it through, while thriving says, I'm growing through this. Thriving under pressure does not mean that life is easy. No, it means pressure no longer controls your mindset. It means adversity no longer steals your identity or your joy. And it means that in difficult seasons will no longer completely destabilize your peace. Thriving. Thriving leaders learn how to remain intentional during pressure-filled seasons. Are you intentional with continuing to move forward with life in the midst of, as a result of, in spite of pressure-filled seasons? So we start off by asking this question. Leaders, let's ask ourselves, what does it mean to thrive under pressure? Again, thriving under pressure is not just about enduring stress, because we hear that all the time, don't we? Thriving under pressure is about learning how to grow, learning how to perform, learning how to adapt, and finding meaning during high pressure environments. Many times we learn how to push through, but there's no meaning. It's like, let me just get through this. But when we choose to intentionally thrive, we make an intentional choice that we are going to find meaning during the high pressure time period, the high pressure environment. And when you and I, as leaders, when we thrive, we stop seeing pressure only as a burden and we begin to see pressure as an opportunity for development. I want you to pause right here. What pressure are you right now walking through, journeying through, living through? And where in the midst of this pressure-filled environment, season, time period, where can you see, recognize, acknowledge that there are opportunities for your personal development? Or maybe for your team's development, for your organization, for your community's development. Because you see, pressure can reveal resilience. Pressure reveals strength. Pressure reveals emotional maturity with growth, right? Pressure reveals wisdom. Pressure reveals leadership capacity. You are stronger many times than what you think. And while pressure is uncomfortable, it also is transformational if you let it. Because thriving leaders understand that pressure may challenge them, but pressure does not have to define them. Let's bring it home. Your pressure is going to challenge you, but your pressure does not have to define you. How many times have we been around people that their identity is defined by what they're going through and they wear it like it's a badge? Your pressure is just that, pressure, but it does not have to define you. So what are the benefits of pressure? Well, benefit number one, many times pressure enables us to adopt a greater mental toughness. That's right. One of the greatest benefits of thriving under pressure is the development of mental toughness. What is mental toughness? Pressure stretches our emotional capacity, and every difficult season becomes an opportunity to strengthen our resilience. Mental toughness is not about being emotionally cold. I don't feel anything. No, it's about being emotionally steady. My emotions are not helter skelter because pressure has come. And you see, when we're thriving leaders recover quicker. Thriving leaders choose to remain calmer. Thriving leaders continue moving forward during uncertainty. They don't wait until things get certain to move forward, but during the uncertainty, they still move forward. Pressure develops what I often call the stress muscle. The stress muscle, which means the more intentional that we navigate pressure, the stronger our emotional endurance becomes. How is your stress muscle? Is your stress muscle growing? Benefit number two, we improve performance. Pressure many times can sharpen our performance when it's managed correctly. Okay, think about this. Athletes, emergency responders, military leaders, CEOs, and high-performing teams, what do they have in common? Well, we have in common the fact that we perform at our highest level during high-pressure moments because the pressure increases. The pressure increases our focus. The pressure increases our awareness. The pressure increases our adaptability. The pressure increases our commitment. The pressure increases our intentionality. That's right. But you know what? Unmanaged pressure, you know what that increases? Unmanaged pressure increases panic. You've seen it. You've seen it. Unmanaged pressure, there's yelling that's going on, there's cursing that's going on, there's instability. People are walking out of the office, tasks are not getting accomplished. That's unmanaged pressure. But you know what? Thriving leaders learn how to channel pressure into clarity. Let's reframe productivity. Let's focus on what needs to be done and purposeful action. We're not going to focus on the little things, but no, what's the priority? They prioritize. Pressure, when it's handled well, guess what? When handled well, it can become momentum. It can be like a springboard. It can be a nudge. It can move things forward. Improves performance. Benefit number 3, pressure increases confidence. Okay, let's talk about this. Confidence grows through evidence. Every time you navigate a difficult season successfully, you prove to yourself, you prove to your team, you prove to the organization, you simply prove what? I can handle hard things. When you see yourself coming through a difficult season and you realize that you can handle hard things, what tends to happen? That tends to build self-trust. Self-trust, like trust in yourself, trust in your words, trust in your thinking, trust in the growth that you are experiencing. So leaders, we see that thriving under pressure enhances emotional confidence, enhances leadership confidence, enhances decision-making confidence. Too many times we wait to feel confident before taking action. I want you to think right now, where right now in your life are you waiting to feel confident? Are you waiting for someone to give you permission? Are you waiting to get the education? Are you waiting to have the money? Are you waiting? Where in your life right now are you waiting before you take action? If you want to be a thriving leader, thriving leaders understand that confidence is often built during the process, not before it. I'm going to say that one more time. Thriving leaders understand that confidence is often built during the process, not before it. Stop waiting and just move forward. Benefit number 4. Benefit number 4, thriving during pressure often allows us, enables us, helps us to have better decision making. Believe it or not, pressure forces decisions. Like when you are under pressure, you are forced to make a decision. And thriving leaders learn how to remain clear-headed under stress. Because when pressure rises, what also rises? Come on, let's think about it. Maverick, put it in the chat. What have you seen? When pressure rises, emotions tend to rise. Urgency increases. Mental overload increases. Come on, and you can name a few more. Go ahead and put them in the chat. Even if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and put this in the chat right now. When pressure rises, emotions increase and urgency increases and mental overload increases. And this is why emotional regulation matters so much. Being emotionally stable. Because thriving leaders pause before reacting. Thriving leaders think strategically. What needs to happen? What's important here? Thriving leaders respond intentionally, not emotionally reacting, but responding intentionally. What is important for me to communicate? What messaging do I need to put out? What direction do I need to give myself and or my team? Strong leaders do not eliminate pressure, but strong leaders think clearly within it. Strong leaders invite their team to think clearly within it. Clarity is key. So I'm going to say that again. Strong leaders do not eliminate pressure, but strong leaders learn how to think clearly within it. Benefit number 5. Thriving under pressure oftentimes enhances our adaptability and our ability to grow. We talked about how pressure forces decision making. Well, pressure will also force adaptation. When that pressure comes, you got to figure out, how do I adapt? In the military, we say adapt and overcome, right? How do we learn how to adapt under pressure? Because adaptability is one of the greatest leadership skills you can develop. And thriving leaders will stop asking why this is happening to me. And instead, thriving leaders will ask, what is this season teaching me? Go ahead and ask yourself that question right now. What is this season teaching me? That mindset shift is everything. As my colleagues will say, that mindset shift is the birthday. That mindset shift is the birthday. It's everything. And growth-minded leaders stay flexible. Growth-minded leaders remain teachable. Growth-minded leaders continue evolving during difficult seasons. Growth-minded leaders are not perfect, but growth-minded leaders are progressive, because pressure becomes preparation, not punishment. Oh, mercy. What would your leadership, what would your day-to-day insight, what would your courage look like if you realize that the pressure you experience every single day, the pressure you're experiencing right now that seems like it's too much to bear, it's not a punishment. It's preparation. Preparation for the next season, preparation for the next step, preparation to actually accomplish the goal that you are setting to accomplish. Preparation. Listen, pressure is not punishment. Preparation is preparation. Preparation. Let the pressure prepare you. Go ahead in the chat right now and just type, I am being prepared. Preparation. Go ahead and put it in the chat. I am being prepared, not punished. Because now we have benefit number 6. We're talking about thriving under pressure. What are the benefits? Here's the last one for today. People who thrive under pressure become trusted leaders. Ooh, listen, I need you to really hone in and listen to this, because many times you get the leadership position and people assume that because they have the position, that automatically means that the team trusts them. No, trust is earned. And when your team sees you remain level-headed, when your team sees you be able to prioritize under pressure, when your team sees you be able to bring clarity in the midst of the pressure, you know what? There's an earned trust that comes. Why? Because people trust leaders who remain calm. People trust leaders that stay grounded. People trust leaders that think clearly. People trust leaders that are authentic and honest. People trust leaders that lead steadily during uncertain times. I want you to pause right there. And I want you to think about a leader that you admire, a leader that you trust. What are some of the reasons why? Any of the ones that I just named, is that a part of why you trust them? Think about your team, your family, your community that you are in. What is it that causes them to trust you? And how can you thrive with them in the midst of pressure-filled seasons? Because thriving leaders create stability in the midst of difficult seasons. And over time, pressure handled well creates leadership credibility. You earn trust during pressure-filled seasons, not just in the good times. Good times are easy. But in the hard times, when there's limited answers, when the demands are high, when mistakes have been made, when it's time to reset, a change has come, you're in the midst of transition, that's when you earn the trust of your people. Remember, over time, pressure handled well creates leadership credibility. So I want you to think about this leadership principle. Thriving is intentional. No one accidentally becomes resilient. Thriving leaders intentionally regulate emotions, protect their peace, build healthy rhythms, and condition themselves mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm going to say this again because this is serious. Go ahead and take out your notepad, take some notes. Thriving leaders are intentional. That means they do this on purpose. Regulate their emotions, protect their peace, build healthy rhythms, and condition themselves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. How will you go about regulating your emotions, especially during pressure-filled times? But not just doing it like it just happened, but how can you intentionally set yourself to be in the habit of regulating your emotions? Set yourself to be in the habit of protecting your peace. Set yourself to be in the habit of building healthy rhythms for yourself, your family, your community, and set yourself to condition yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and I'm going to say physically. A leadership best practice that I want to invite you to do is to build recovery rhythms before you desperately need them. Recovery rhythm. What is recovery rhythm? Recovery rhythm is like, what is that system that you can have in place that you can always go back to help you to recover and to move forward? For example, thriving leaders, part of their recovery rhythm is to intentionally rest. When was the last time that you rested? Now, rest looks different for different people. Sometimes rest is getting some sleep. Sometimes rest is putting the phone down, not paying attention to your to-do list or work, not answering any calls, but just giving yourself a dedicated time to just be present with yourself, be present with your family. For some people, it looks like going to the spa, going to the beach, going on vacation, reading a book, writing a poem, creating something. But you got to prioritize rest. You are not an Energizer bunny that has to go, 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 go. You will burn out and deplete quickly. Having a recovery rhythm looks like taking some time to reflect. At the end of the day, the work day is over. Take some time to reflect on what happened through the day. How did you feel? And what do you need? Sometimes it looks like prayer. Pray, meditate, talk to God, just be quiet. Boundaries. Sometimes recovery rhythm looks like readjusting boundaries. Your availability, people's availability to you. Emotional awareness is another recovery rhythm. And recovery. What does it look like? What do you need to recover and recover well? Because recovery is not a weakness. Recovery is leadership stewardship. I want to share this original Transformation Station, Adrienne Benton quote with you, and it says, "Pressure may reveal your limits, but thriving reveals your capacity to grow beyond them." Pressure may reveal your limits, but thriving reveals your capacity to grow beyond them. So here's the call to action. It's simple. I want you to answer this question. Where in your life have you been surviving instead of thriving? Feel free to go ahead and put it in the chat. Share it with us. We're a community. Where in your life have you been surviving instead of thriving? Then I want you to ask yourself this next question. What is one intentional shift that you can make this week to move towards thriving? So where in your life have you been surviving instead of thriving? Identify it. And then here's the commitment part. What is one intentional shift you can make this week toward thriving? Maybe it's resting. Maybe it's slowing down. Maybe it's praying. Maybe it's asking for support. Maybe it's journaling at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. Maybe it's setting some boundaries. Maybe it's protecting your peace more intentionally. Maybe it's subscribing and listening to Transformation Station weekly podcast so that you can continue to develop your professional growth. Remember, transformation begins with awareness. I want to share with you that here in our Mobilizing with Impact community, we are a community that is dedicated to moving forward and growing. I want to invite you to tell us, what does thriving look like for you? What pressure are you learning to navigate differently? What intentional shift are you going to make this week? You can tell us on LinkedIn, Mobilizing with Impact LinkedIn page. You can tell us on Facebook, Mobilizing with Impact Facebook page. You can tell us in our community, www.mobilizingwithimpact.com. You can come to our Lead Her Shift webinar and tell us there, because transformation happens when we grow together. Listen, I want to thank you for joining me today for this episode of Transformation Station Leadership Podcast. And I want you to remember this: pressure, it may be part of your journey. It really is a part of all of ours, but it does not have to control our spirit. It does not have to control our mindset. It does not have to control our commitments to our commitments. Pressure may be a part of your journey, but you were not created to merely survive difficult seasons. You were created to grow through them. So until next time, keep on leading, keep on growing, keep on inspiring, and keep on mobilizing forward.